The modern world has tricked you into believing that burnout is the price of greatness. You have been told that to build an empire, you must set yourself on fire, that your value is measured by how quickly you can turn your vitality into ash. You wake up with a weight on your chest, dragging your soul through a list of tasks that feel like sand in your mouth, and you call this the grind. But look at the monuments of the Nile. They were not built by men who were burning out. They were built by men who understood the law of the eternal furnace. A fire that consumes its own fuel in a single night is a failure. A fire that sustains a civilization for 5,000 years is a mastery of rhythm. Burnout is not caused by working too hard. This is the first lie you must unlearn. Burnout is the result of working without a rhythm, moving without a purpose, and trying to pour from a jar that you have forgotten to refill. In the Old Kingdom, we didn't just build stone structures. We built human systems that could endure the desert heat without cracking. We understood that the soul has seasons, just like the river. If you try to force the harvest in the middle of the flood, you will fail. If you try to flow when the water is meant to be still, you will break. To never feel burnout again, you must stop being a candle and start being a sun. The first law of the eternal furnace is the rhythm of the inundation. Most people live in a state of perpetual noon. You expect yourself to be at peak performance every hour of every day, every month of every year. This is a biological and spiritual impossibility. Even the Nile, the source of all life, has a season where it recedes. This is not a sign of weakness, it is the period of preparation. You must ruthlessly schedule your recession. You need periods of deep intentional stillness that are just as protected as your hours of labor. If your calendar does not have the void written on it, your calendar is a death warrant for your ambition. Rest is not a reward for your work. It is the foundation that makes your work possible. To apply this, you must adopt the daily protocol of the scribe. In the ancient temples, work was not a chaotic sprawl. It was a series of rituals. You must divide your day into 3 distinct chambers. The first is the chamber of the sun, the 4 hours of your highest energy, where you strike the heavy stones. No distractions, no small talk, no noise. The second is the chamber of the reed, where you handle the admin, the communication, and the flexible tasks. The third, and most important, is the chamber of the stars. This is your period of absolute disconnection. If you do not close the gates of your temple at night, the desert jackals will steal your peace. You do not check the scrolls of the modern world before sleep. You return to the silence. The second law is the selective strike. Burnout happens when energy is leaked through 1,000 tiny holes. You are busy with emails, busy with social noise, busy with the opinions of people who cannot see your vision. This is not work. It is friction, and friction creates the heat that burns you out. A pharaoh does not swing his hammer at every pebble in the road. He identifies the one limestone block that, when moved, changes the entire landscape. You must audit your life with a cold, divine indifference. If a task does not contribute to the capstone of your legacy, it is a theft of your life force. Cut the trivial. Kill the unnecessary. When you only strike the things that matter, you find that you have an infinite reservoir of energy for the battle. The third law is the source of the flame. Why are you working? If you are working for the applause of others, for the fear of being left behind, or for the temporary high of a paycheck, you are using dirty fuel. This fuel burns hot and fast, leaving a toxic residue of anxiety in your spirit. We built for the gods and for eternity. Our fuel was a vision that existed outside of time. When your work is aligned with your truth and your cosmic purpose, the work itself becomes a form of prayer. It doesn't take energy from you. It gives energy to you. You don't get tired of doing what you were born to do. You only get tired when you are pretending to be someone you are not. Look at your hands. Are they shaking with the caffeine and the stress of a deadline that won't matter in 5 years? Or are they steady with the weight of a 1,000-year plan? Burnout is the symptom of a short horizon. When you are rushing to win the day, every delay feels like a catastrophe. But when you are building for the stars, a delay is just a chance to sharpen your tools. A pharaoh knows that time is his servant, not his master. Stop sprinting toward a finish line that doesn't exist. The journey is the monument. The process is the temple. Modern society wants you exhausted because an exhausted man is easier to distract. They want you in a state of low-grade panic, so you continue to buy their cures, their escapes, and their illusions. But I am telling you to step out of the fire. Stop trying to beat the clock and start living in the rhythm of the ancients. You are not a beast of burden meant to be driven until your heart stops. You are a creator meant to move with the weight and the grace of the deep water. Build your canals, protect your silence. Strike only where it matters. And above all, find the vision that makes the work feel like breathing. When you align your effort with the laws of the universe, the concept of exhaustion becomes a relic of a past life. You will move through the world with a cool, focused power that others will mistake for magic. But it isn't magic. It is simply the mastery of the flame. I am Pharaoh Phoenix, and I have returned to show you how to build without breaking. Put out the fire of the hustle and light the furnace of the eternal. Subscribe, and let us reclaim the endurance of the stone.